Welcome to the High School Spotlight. I'm your host, Taylor Nettle, and happy holidays. We've got a football-filled episode for you today. 8 schools across the state are ringing in the holiday season with one of the most exciting gifts that a high school athlete could ask for, and that's winning the state championship. We take you back into the Superdome for the next hour, recapping every state title game and introducing you to all 8 of the newly crowned state champs. We start things off with an absolute thriller in Division II Select between St. Charles Catholic and Archbishop Shaw. Don't go anywhere. The High School Spotlight is just getting started.
For over 100 years, our families have gathered together to share with each other our challenges and hopes, to take this light we've been gifted and paint a brighter future for the next generation. The seeds we plant today are the bounty we harvest tomorrow. As farmers, we know that together we're stronger than we could ever be apart. We're the Louisiana Farm Bureau, and we're the voice of Louisiana agriculture.
So it's going to come down to this.
Can they do it?
Oh no, they missed it! Wait a minute! There's a flag on the play!
Protect what matters most to you and find out the many ways you can benefit. 100% free tuition and fees to all state colleges. Job training in over 150 different career fields, healthcare, pay, and much more. The Louisiana Army National Guard, part-time service with lifelong benefits. Find out more by visiting www.lang-recruiting.com.
The LHSAA Network TV app features a 24/7 live channel as well as on-demand content with all the high school sports you want, and it's totally free. The app is available for download on TV-connected devices, including Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire TV. It's the only place where every day is game day. Download the LHSAA Network TV app today.
Welcome back. St. Charles and Shaw are no strangers to each other. The district rivals met once earlier this season when the Comets shut out Shaw. But they met again in the state championship game, and this time it was nothing like that early November district matchup. Our very own Steve Schneider recaps the thrilling Division II Select state title game and how St. Charles defeated Shaw.
Ahead of these championships, St. Charles Catholic coach Wayne Stein made sure I knew that his Comets have been to 10 of the last 22 prep classics. But if you think that makes their appearance here ordinary, you got another thing coming.
Not only were the Comets taking on a defending state champ, Shaw was a district rival for a rematch from Week 10. And while Stein's team won that one 24-0, this is the Superdome. This is for a state title, not a district championship. So mistakes can be magnified and stress can be serious. And this prep classic story was special and may never be topped. It started with and ended with the Comets' specialty teams. Chris Don McLean's return was exciting to start the game, but it didn't lead to points. But the Shaw Eagles trailed twice when Skylar Edwards powered in for 6, and then after Alan Shaw III found tight end Elliott Love to tie at 7-7, Landry LeBlanc countering with 2 big passes to his tight end, Gabe Kugler, and St. Charles led 14-7 at the break. But in the second half, Hank Tierney went into his bag of tricks with a fake punt and a pass from a defensive lineman, Jonathan Williams. 2 plays later, Shaw found the end zone and we're tied 14-14. With just 3 seconds left in the third, Shaw III streaks 81 yards for his second score and is starting to look like the MVP of back-to-back titles for the Eagles. But in the closing minutes, LeBlanc directs a now-or-never drive, finding Claude Remonde and his cousin Walker LeBlanc for key first downs, and Edwards thought he had tied at 21-21 with his second TD. But always reliable Comets kicker Tyler Miliotto misses the extra point wide left. And when an onside kick didn't get the ball back, all hope was lost for Stein's team, or was it?
Everybody up here has a story of failure and then turned around and triumph. From Skylar to Tyler to Landry to Gabe. They all had something athletically that just didn't pan out for them. And to be able to see the toughness and the mentality that they have to pick themselves up off the carpet, I think that's why we are who we are.
With 35 seconds to go, Shaw should have been able to kneel out the rest of the clock since the Comets had only 2 timeouts left. But an early celebration by a Shaw player not only stopped the clock, it cost the Eagles 15 yards, so suddenly they'd have to snap the ball on 4th down. A partially blocked punt went out of bounds, giving the Comets a second chance for Milioto to kick a 44-yard field goal in the final 10 seconds.
And I thought the game was over because I saw there's only 2 timeouts left. And I'm sitting there, and then they're all just screaming me, like, get up. I'm like, why are they screaming me, get up? I was telling them no. And then I looked up, and we saw the timeout left, and it was 3rd down. I was confused.
I wasn't sure if I was just going to shake hands after the first knee or not. And that's why, if you notice, it took me 4 seconds to call a timeout. Luckily, divine intervention, helmet comes off, and I called a timeout after that. That's how I was awarded my timeout back.
Once I found out that, we had a chance to get the ball back, I was pretty confident that we were going to get down there, get a field goal, and we were going to win the game.
Then we're sitting on the field for like 2 minutes, just, I don't know, they were reviewing something. So I'm just sitting there, and I didn't really feel anything because I was just thinking it can't get much worse than what just happened. So I was just, and then it went in, and I don't even remember I saw it go in, I don't remember what happened after. And
The Comets lost special teams line and strength coach John Talley last year when he passed away after a 4-7 season. But they believe he was with them in the semifinals when they blocked an extra point to force overtime and defeated U-High on what would have been his birthday. And they believe he was with them again in the Superdome for their improbable state championship victory as well.
Think about Coach Talley often. He brought so much to our place. He was tough, but it got to the point, God puts people in your life for a reason. He definitely was put in our area at St. Charles Catholic for a reason. I think we could look past his roughness, and also we honored him. He was like a River Parish rat. That's what River Parish people are all about.
At the Prep Classic Football Championship, Steve Schneider, LHSA Network.
Thanks, Steve. Coming up, we keep up with the theme of district opponents meeting in the state title game. Hear what happened as St. Aug and Edna Karr faced each other in the Division I Select State Championship. Stay with us.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Dude, you're looking ice cold.
You look ice cold, bro.
Guys, somebody's coming. Somebody's coming.
Let's do it.
There comes a day
when I'll be the one
you dream.
It's gonna be me.
Dude, are you crying?
For over 100 years, our families have gathered together to share with each other our challenges and hopes, to take this light we've been gifted and paint a brighter future for the next generation. The seeds we plant today are the bounty we harvest tomorrow. As farmers, we know that together we're stronger than we could ever be apart. We're the Louisiana Farm Bureau, and we're the voice of Louisiana agriculture.
If you want to break the rock, you need to make yourself indestructible. If you want to play between the hedges, you need to work out there, up there, down there, everywhere. If you want to reach the win bar, you need to lose sleep, lose count. You need to play every game like you got nothing to lose.
Checking back in on the high school spotlight, when over 34,000 fans and two insanely talented programs from the same district come together in the Superdome for a state championship game, it's electrifying. And that's exactly what happened in the Division I Select State title game when two Catholic League teams went head-to-head. An exciting New Orleans rivalry between Edna Karr and St. Aug unfolded, with the nationally ranked Cougars taking home back-to-back state titles. I've got the story. It was a packed house in the Superdome for an epic state championship game between New Orleans rivals Edna Karr and St. Aug. It was a slower start for Karr going up against such a talented St. Aug team, but the Cougars' defense set the physical tone early on to keep themselves in front of the Purple Knights the whole night.
That's why St. Aug couldn't generate an offensive touchdown, because a lot of those guys are on defense. And then they have to, when they go on defense, they got to run around John, run after John, and run after Trey. So, you know, this is an expectation at Karr, but it's the standard. And we do it different. We preach family. We preach continuity, chemistry, togetherness, and it's a brotherhood, and it's real.
They like to drop eight, so they can't really stop our running game. You know, we got a two-headed monster in the backfield, so it's really just a pick your poison moment. Either you could give me a QB spy and, you know, try to stop me from there, or you could just give Trey, fill the box up for Trey, and you stop him from running, but you can't stop both of us. So it's a real blessing. You know, we started in the off season in the summer, you know, training together every day, every weekend. You know, no breaks off. So really, we prepared ourselves for this moment, and we showed out when it came.
With such a strong group of seniors leading Karr throughout the season, senior quarterback John Johnson had a special message for the younger guys ahead of Saturday's state championship game.
We all spoke to the young kids. I said to my freshmen, I said, don't listen to the white lies. People are gonna always, you know, talk bad about you, try to bring you down, but don't listen to them. You could do whatever you put your mind to. You know, even if they talk about your height like they did with me, even if they talk about you too slow, you could do whatever you want to do. And, you know, coming into this game, we played against this crowd before. You know, we played against St. Aug in the regular season with the same crowd. We played against American Heritage, a top 10 team in the nation. You know, so we're used to it.
When Karr got the state championship trophy in their hands, the most important thing that they wanted to do was bring it to the mother of Corey Adams, a former Karr Cougar standout who was a freshman at Ole Miss when he was killed in a Memphis shooting in July this year.
It was a bittersweet moment, you know. Like Coach Bryce said, Coach Norm gave the speech. We're going to give it to Corey mom. He said it at the beginning of the week, so that was the goal. Even before I went and grabbed the trophy, they didn't even want to take the picture. They were just like, go give it to Corey mom, but we had to take the picture first, but it was really a bittersweet moment.
I know last year it was a joke about how we wanted a running clock, right? But this goal was to bring his mom the state championship trophy, because we have great players, and that was one of the greatest Cougars we've had. You know, his passion, his drive for excellence, and to dedicate a whole season to him was heavy on our hearts the whole year. And I think to finish it against St. Aug in this venue, I think he wouldn't have had it no other way.
Trey Garrison was named the most outstanding player of the state championship game. He finished the night with 41 carries for 189 yards and 1 touchdown. He's just one of the talented Karr seniors who are going to play on the next level.
You know, Trey with 41 carries, that's amazing. I think we ever did that in our school history because we like to throw it so much. But, you know, just so proud of him and just so proud of this team, this coaching staff, because this is a special group. You know, this is probably, you'll probably never see this again. 15 signees. We just added another one this week with Floyd Jones getting a scholarship up from Southern University, and we're just so proud of these guys because they exemplify what's good about our city. And I think we can't speak more about their character. We know they're great athletes, but the men that's sitting among us is the special part. Man, I'm telling you, these guys, they could play anybody, anywhere. I'm talking about any team in the nation, and we'll line up against them and play them because they're fearless.
While what happened on the Superdome field led to Karr bringing home another piece of hardware to the trophy case, it was something bigger for head coach Bryce Brown, and he closed his post-game press conference with what this game actually meant to him.
It's a win for St. Aug, too. They should be proud. We should all be proud that we have a field in the Louisiana Superdome filled with black men. And we're making this attractable for them to do something besides run to the street where they've made it very attractive. So if anybody out there listening, if you need a home, a car at St. Aug, that's the excellence that we're talking about. Either one, you can't go wrong because this is the standard.
Next, we keep things in Division I, but over on the non-select side, we see two district opponents meeting again. We've got the full recap of Ouachita Parish and Ruston right here on the High School Spotlight.
Protect what matters most to you and find out the many ways you can benefit. 100% free tuition and fees to all state colleges. Job training in over 150 different career fields, healthcare, pay, and much more. The Louisiana Army National Guard, part-time service with lifelong benefits. Find out more by visiting www.lang-recruiting.com.
At Breck Golf Courses, we focus on the highest level of play. That means award-winning courses, state-of-the-art practice facilities, unique shot-making opportunities, and tournament-level playing experiences. With 2 championship courses located in the parish, Beaver Creek and Santa Maria courses make the perfect setting to test your golf skills. Find your next hole-in-one with Breck Golf.
So it's going to come down to this. Can they do it?
Oh no, they missed it! Wait a minute! There's a flag on the play!
When looking for college, I wanted somewhere that would push me and allow me to kind of be the person I'd always wanted to be.
Everyone here kind of has this mindset of seeing the next person succeed, and I think that just creates a Southern Miss spirit.
You find what you need out of Southern Miss. What I need isn't what another student needs, but we all find something here.
You don't have to be what people have said you've been. You don't have to be what people think you are. Like, coming to Southern Miss, you can totally reinvent yourself and be who you truly feel like you are meant to be.
Welcome back to the High School Spotlight. The Division I non-select state championship featured number 14 seeded Ouachita Parish and number 1 seeded Ruston. It was a close one between these district opponents, but in true Cinderella fashion, Ouachita Parish took down Ruston 21-20. Spencer Verrett has the story.
The Ouachita Parish Lions entered the playoffs as a 14 seed, but they powered through the Division I non-select bracket all the way here to the Caesars Superdome, where a 21-20 win over Ruston crowned them champions, and thanks a large part to a senior class that never said die.
The game tonight is really representative, especially in the second half of our football season this year. I think there was a time that most people in the state, and definitely people in our area, would have counted us out and said that we were going to be a one and done. And these guys thought different. This group of guys is one of the most resilient groups I've been around. And I think the thing that's special that I've told everybody all weekend and all week long is the difference in this day and age where the transfer portal and all those things are becoming more prevalent and they're seeping in, as these guys made a decision when they were much younger, 8th grade and even earlier, to stick together, to do this together, and to win a championship.
Coach Benji Lewis giving credit to this senior class for bringing home a state title. Ouachita has had years of heartbreak since their last state title, but these seniors get it done.
In the moment, I think it is a shining light to all of the young men that play football on the east side of Ouachita Parish to say it's not so far, it's not out of reach. I think these guys had to overcome a huge obstacle, and that was that maybe people thought it was a pipe dream for Ouachita to be state champions. And these guys, that's why, I think that they did it and there wasn't a road map for it. We did that, and there was no road map for it at Ouachita High School. So I think that these guys can draw on just what they can do when their back's against the wall, and also just what a shining light that they've been an example to future Ouachita Lions.
4 of those seniors at the post-game press conference all had a huge impact not only on this game but the season. Most outstanding player Macario Day Jr., defensive tackle Dylan Berryman, quarterback Montrell Connor, and athlete Wydell Clark all reflecting on this moment.
Because 1989, none of us was thought about or born.
I
was born, well, yeah, coach, but 2008, that's when I was born. But we ain't gonna remember too much of the losses and the bad seasons. These 4 years, nobody gonna remember them the last 3 years, but they gonna remember 2025. So we just wanted to give everybody something to remember.
I just believe in all my teammates, you know. We came out a little flat, but you know, we had to go in and get our minds right. Then when we came back out, I seen that look in everybody's face that they wanted to keep playing. So we just kept playing. I kept running the ball as hard as I could, and everybody was just doing their jobs. It feels good to say that we were the best class that came through Washington to make a statement for everybody in the world. So I feel good.
We all went into halftime with our heads down, and you know, Coach Caesar came up in there and talked to us, and I think they kind of motivated everybody. Like, we don't have no reason to keep our head down. Like, we in this game. Defense, we had to get a stop coming out of the halftime, man. We got that, and offense did their part. So, I mean, it was just believing in God during that moment.
A lot of people that doubted us, but we came back and came out and, you know, we made a statement to show that we don't deserve to be doubted and overlooked. And then there's so many people in this program, coaches and all that of that sort, and they just deserve this, you know. So I can say we did it for us and the coaches that's been here for so long, and they haven't gave up on us, and they just continue to be there every day. When I know it's been times and they didn't want to show up, so I just know they kept believing in us, and we did it for them.
Clark had a touchdown catch on the day, but his biggest play, punching out the ball on Ahmad Hudson when the Bearcats were running down the field looking like they would steal the game away from the Lions.
Well, I don't know where I came from, but I saw him, once he caught the ball, he was making moves, and he kept swinging the ball. Every move, every juke move, he was yanking the ball away from his body. So I'm like, I know I can catch him, but what I'm going to do when I catch him? So when I caught him, I just reached for the ball, and next thing you know, I seen my teammate falling on the ball.
It's the Lions' first state championship since 1989 and the second for the school overall. Reporting from the Caesar Superdome for the LHSA Network, I'm Spencer Verrett.
Thanks, Spencer. Coming up on the high school spotlight, the top 2 seeds in Division II non-select met in the Superdome. Iowa and North DeSoto, both unbeaten and looking for their first state title. Find out which team made history right after the break.
For over 100 years, our families have gathered together to share with each other our challenges and hopes, to take this light we've been gifted and paint a brighter future for the next generation. The seeds we plant today are the bounty we harvest tomorrow. As farmers, we know that together we're stronger than we could ever be apart. We're the Louisiana Farm Bureau, and we're the voice of Louisiana agriculture.
Dude, you were looking ice cold.
You look ice cold, bro.
Guys, somebody's coming. Somebody's coming.
Let's do it.
There comes a day
When I'll be the one
you dream.
It's gonna
It's gonna be way.
Dude, are you crying?
Welcome back. Both Iowa and North DeSoto arrived on Poisier Street with an undefeated record, pretty much all of the people in their towns traveling to support them, and a dream of bringing home the first state title in school history. But only one team's dream could come true in this close contest, and it was the Yellow Jackets who made history as Iowa took down North DeSoto to win the Division II non-select state title.
What a moment for the Iowa Yellow Jackets and head coach Tommy Johns. Iowa winning their first state championship in school history with a 50-43 thrilling win over North DeSoto in Division II non-select.
This couldn't be more proud of our players, our coaches who had a heck of a plan, who poured into these kids, not obviously on the field, but more so off the field, and it showed today more than ever. And like I said, I couldn't be more proud of our players, coaches, but also our community who supports us tremendously in anything that we do. And they showed up today in droves, man. I'm telling you, I don't think there's another person left in Iowa. And also, not just Iowa, the whole Southwest Louisiana. Their support has been tremendous throughout this entire week and this whole journey. And
an emotional Tommy Johns in the post-game press conference. His father, Mike Johns, a former football coach himself, coach hardly able to contain the emotion seeing his dad after the game.
Hard to put in words. A guy who coached for 48 years, gave his life to this profession at state, served on the executive committee, came very close to being here several times. But did I have him here with me? My mom, my uncle, my aunt, the whole family. It's just, doesn't even seem real. And just an unbelievable moment that I've always dreamed of, he has, and for it to actually happen is it's a fairy tale.
The Yellow Jackets racking up 405 rushing yards, but quarterback Lawson Broussard with 183 yards and 2 touchdowns of his own in the passing game. A lot of credit to the offensive line for the Yellow Jackets.
I trust my men up front to protect me, and I feel extremely safe in the backfield. And having playmakers out there like Jeremiah and Caston, Javian, Maiden, I just have to get it to them, and they do the rest. So,
man, look, our guys up front, those poor babies don't get a lick of credit, and they are what we're built around. They're the hardest working guys in the room every day. I wish you could just see the work that these guys pour in. Twice a day in the off season. I always tell them they're just built different.
The 2 stars on the night for the Yellow Jackets were most outstanding player Jeremiah Bushnell and Caston Lewis. The 2 combined for almost 350 yards.
We dream of this moment, but I really just don't feel real. It's like it's a dream come true.
Me and Coach Johns have a good relationship. Me and him have been waiting on this for a long time, and him getting on my butt all the time, it finally paid off. So, to be in this situation is amazing. I love my coach. I love the coaching staff, my teammates, and I'm just glad we could finally get it done.
Jeremiah had an unbelievable game tonight. That's what I love about this team, because from week to week, you don't know who's going to end up having the game. I thought this is probably one of the best games of his career. Casey probably played one of the best games of his career the week before. Javian's been about as solid as you're going to find in a high school running back. He's the all-time leading rusher in Iowa history, and that's for a reason. But none of these guys are selfish, and they'll tell you that. They don't care who gets the carries, the credit, none of that, and that's why we're in this position.
The Yellow Jackets win the first championship for a team from Calcasieu Parish in over 50 years. Reporting for the LHSAA Network, I'm Spencer Verrett.
We're just getting started here on the High School Spotlight. After the break, we relive the Division III non-select state championship game between Gina and Sterlington. The High School Spotlight will be right back.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Protect what matters most to you and find out the many ways you can benefit. 100% free tuition and fees to all state colleges. Job training in over 150 different career fields, healthcare, pay, and much more. The Louisiana Army National Guard, part-time service with lifelong benefits. Find out more by visiting www.lang-recruiting.com.
For over 100 years, our families have gathered together to share with each other our challenges and hopes, to take this light we've been gifted and paint a brighter future for the next generation. The seeds we plant today are the bounty we harvest tomorrow. As farmers, we know that together we're stronger than we could ever be apart. We're the Louisiana Farm Bureau, and we're the voice of Louisiana agriculture.
Checking back in on the high school spotlight, number 1 seeded Gina and number 2 seeded Sterlington met in the Division III non-select state championship, with Sterlington pulling away 34-20. Here's a recap of that exciting matchup.
The Sterlington Panthers under head coach Lee Doty back-to-back champions in Division III non-select after a 34-20 win over Gina. In the second half, 2 pick sixes by the Panthers defense helped crown them champions.
It never gets old. I can't be more proud of our kids and our administrators, our coaches who do a fabulous job. You know, we didn't play our best ball today, but we came out in the second half and did what we had to do to make sure we won the game. Halftime, we just talked about we were fine, just go do what we do. And just, you know, 2 defensive touchdowns, and you know, we just went and did what we did. And, you know, we've been in fist fights before this year, and we talked about that at halftime. You know, we've been down before. We've been behind before. You know, we know how to do this. And sometimes I think we have to get down before we start playing. So, you know, we've been there, done that with our schedule, and just so proud of these young men and proud of our coaching staff, no doubt.
The Panthers taking down a Gina squad that mirrored the Sterlington squad back in 2016. Coach Doty, an assistant on that championship squad that were huge underdogs to Madison Prep, but won to get the school's first state championship. The similarities with this year's Gina squad were all too familiar.
Well, you know, we talked all week about, you know, how we're going to play being the favorites, you know, and even though Gina was a 1 seed, I mean, everywhere you looked, everything you heard, you know, we're just going to come in here and blow them out. And I was like, ain't no way that's going to happen, you know. So we were a little concerned about how our kids would react being, you know, where we're at now. And because Gina could have been the 2016 Sterlington team. And, you know, we're worried about that, no doubt about it.
Senior Trey Birch with one of those pick sixes in the second half, an anchor on this defense all season.
It's very special. I mean, I knew I was going to make a play. I mean, they were at that point where we just shut them down, and I just figured I'd just do my job and drop them, and it just happened.
And his brother, junior TJ Birch, the most outstanding player, 105 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns for the fullback, earned him this great honor, but the offensive line in front of him deserves some huge credit as well. TJ getting to win a championship in his last game with his brother.
I feel like we got the best O-line in the state, in my opinion. You know, all the work they put in all season has paid off with Coach Larry Foster and Coach Dave Jackson. You know, they were one of the best coaches I know at the school. You know, so they got them guys trained up all season, and you know they were ready to go tonight. I mean, it just feels special, you know, because we've been playing football together our whole life, you know, and it just feels good to win the championship with my brother for one last time.
And speaking of his brother, this senior class for Sterlington leaving a true impact on the school, helping win 2 state titles.
You know, we don't have the biggest group of seniors this year, but I can tell you one thing about them. As this season progressed, I can promise you one thing. I stood on the shoulders of giants as I've watched these seniors lead this team, and I'm very proud of them.
Coach Doty taking time to reflect on the amazing staff and people he is surrounded by at Sterlington. The Panthers have been on a roll, winning back-to-back state titles.
You know, I got the best job in the world. My family and I love it here. We've been through some hard times family-wise with some health issues. This community rallied around us. For me to be able to help give this community, it means the world to me. And these young men, win, lose, or draw, I wouldn't want to do it with anybody else. We have a special place. We have special coaches. We do things that a lot of folks don't do. We got guys that just watch film all day. We got guys that monitor social media. We know if the quarterback broke up with his girlfriend on Thursday, we leave no stone unturned in our preparation.
Sterlington now will move up to Division II non-select next season, but they return a whole bunch of Panthers ready to chase for another title. Reporting from the Caesars Superdome for the LHSA Network, I'm Spencer Verrett.
Next, keeping things in Division III, but over on the select side, Dunham and Calvary both knocked out the top two seeded teams during the semifinals. Find out what happened when these two teams met in the Superdome. Stay with us.
The LHSAA Network TV app features a 24/7 live channel as well as on-demand content with all the high school sports you want, and it's totally free. The app is available for download on TV-connected devices, including Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire TV. It's the only place where every day is game day. Download the LHSAA Network TV app today.
So it's going to come down to this. Can they do it?
Oh no, they missed it! Wait a minute! There's a flag on the play!
Protect what matters most to you and find out the many ways you can benefit. 100% free tuition and fees to all state colleges. Job training in over 150 different career fields, healthcare, pay, and much more. The Louisiana Army National Guard, part-time service with lifelong benefits. Find out more by visiting www.lang-recruiting.com.
For over 100 years, our families have gathered together to share with each other our challenges and hopes, to take this light we've been gifted and paint a brighter future for the next generation. The seeds we plant today are the bounty we harvest tomorrow. As farmers, we know that together we're stronger than we could ever be apart. We're the Louisiana Farm Bureau, and we're the voice of Louisiana agriculture.
Welcome back. Dunham took down Lafayette Christian 49-48 in the semifinals to punch their ticket to New Orleans. And then the number 5 seeded Tigers took down number 6 seeded Calvary to claim the Division III Select State title. But this was far much more than just a win on the football field for Dunham head coach Neil Weiner and his team. Steve Schneider has more.
The Dunham Tigers hadn't taken home a championship since 2004, Joey Thibodeau's Tigers, but they were returning from a devastating loss in the title game just last year, facing Calvary Baptist, a program that had won here just 2 years ago. Junior quarterback Elijah Haven padded his touchdowns to 62, tossing 3 in the first 3 quarters after he had run for 2, giving number 5 total touchdowns in a 34-17 victory to finish 12-1 as the state's Division III select champions.
You know, when your best players show up and play at their best in a game like this, it's a lot of fun to just sit back and watch as a coach. But man, I'm so grateful to be at Dunham. It's such a special place. There's a lot of great places out there, but man, for me and this group and my family, there's nothing better than the Dunham Tigers.
It just reflects on the team and, you know, the work we put in all summer, all spring, and so I'm just super happy to be a champ.
You know, there are only a handful of high school coaches in Louisiana who can share state championships with their dads, and one of those is Neil Weiner at Dunham. His coach Dale Weiner actually coached at the school before it was Dunham at Chapel Trafton, and had a Hall of Fame career mostly at Catholic High. And every single time his dad was coaching, his son was paying attention.
I think about my dad a lot. Him not having the physical ability to be here, to be present, but to watch. It's great. Whether I won a state championship or not, my dad loves me so much. And what a great reflection of our Heavenly Father that loves us no matter what we do. Whether we get it right or we get it wrong, He still loves us. My dad, physically is struggling a little bit more and more. And, he can't talk a whole lot, but he called last night to make sure that I knew that he loved me. And, what happened tonight is just extra special.
Elijah, this time last year you were walking off the field, and I have a clip from you of how it unfolded. Was there a little extra motivation tonight for you?
Yeah, I think so. Just finishing the job. That's something we preached all last week and coming into this week, and so I was going to do everything in preparation to get the job done.
While Haven had 407 yards of total offense, senior receiver Jarvis Washington, 2 touchdown catches among his 10 grabs, totaling 168 yards.
A legacy that I could leave on the future guys coming up to just be yourself and just ball out, and great things can happen to you as well.
Me and my teammates have been working for the last 4 years. Even in middle school, we talked about when we were seniors, we'd want to win a state championship. And so just to see the success pay off of all of our hard work and hours we spent.
And the Dunham defense held Cavalry to just 13 yards rushing on 19 attempts as the Tigers impressed in the trenches on both sides of the ball.
You got to have heart. We work the technique every single day, no reps off. But at the end of the day, it's who wants it more, and we wanted it more.
Christian Como and Raymond Dragseth, our 2 senior offensive linemen, they've been incredible leaders. And, a year ago in the locker room, Christian Como stood up and told the whole team that he was going to become the leader that our team needed on the offensive line. And he was tremendous. He led the entire year, did a great job in practice, and Raymond did a fantastic job as well. And the other thing is Grayson Augusta, our offensive line coach. Grayson coached middle school football for us for several years, and we brought him up to the varsity a couple years ago, and he would be the first one to admit he was still learning some things. But he has so much love and so much passion for those kids. They play their absolute hearts out for him. Romans 12:2 says, "Do not be conformed by the patterns of this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind. And then through testing, you'll know what is acceptable and what is good and what is perfect." And so when I decided that I wasn't going to try to be validated by other people's opinions, and I just said, you know what, I'm going to do my best to honor God in everything that I do, then I don't really care about the results anymore. And I believe that wholeheartedly, and I talk to our kids about that all the time. It is not about winning a championship. It is not about winning a game. It is all about how you prepare and how you honor God in the way that you work every single week. And do you know what? After that 2018 season, we've been to the semifinals 4 years. We've been to the Dome 3 years. Tonight, God dang it, we're the state champs. God is good all the time. And all the time, God is good. Thank you.
Congratulations, Coach.
Coming up, Haynesville is no stranger to the Superdome and winning state championships, but they haven't been able to get the job done since 2014. That was until this year. We've got the full recap of Haynesville's win over Mangum right here on the High School Spotlight.
Protect what matters most to you and find out the many ways you can benefit. 100% free tuition and fees to all state colleges. Job training in over 150 different career fields, healthcare, pay, and much more. The Louisiana Army National Guard, part-time service with lifelong benefits. Find out more by visiting www.lang-recruiting.com.
When looking for a college, I wanted somewhere that would push me and allow me to kind of be the person I'd always wanted to be.
Everyone here kind of has this mindset of seeing the next person succeed, and I think that just creates a Southern Miss spirit.
You find what you need out of Southern Miss. What I need isn't what another student needs, but we all find something here.
You don't have to be what people have said you've been. You don't have to be what people think you are. Like, coming to Southern Miss, you can totally reinvent yourself and be who you truly feel like you are meant to be.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, Our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Dude, you're looking ice cold.
You look ice cold, bro.
Guys, somebody's coming. Somebody's coming.
Let's do it.
There comes a day,
Gonna be a
when I'll be the one you dream. It's gonna be way.
Dude, are you crying?
Welcome back to the High School Spotlight. The third time's a charm for Haynesville. The Golden Tornado has been to the Superdome the past 3 years, but they couldn't get the job done. That was until this season, when Haynesville took down Mangum to win the Division IV non-select state title. I've got the story. Haynesville and Mangum made for an exciting first game of the Prep Classic on Thursday morning. The Golden Tornadoes scored first and kept their lead for the majority of the first half, heading into halftime in front 32-27. Haynesville hadn't been tested much throughout the season, so the biggest game of the year being so close made it easy for emotions and frustrations to rise for the Golden Tornado.
A lot of the senior guys, arguing with each other, not wanting to lose this game, lose control, actually forgetting the reason why we down here. We was up, we went into the locker room, everybody had their heads down. We had to bring each other together and let them realize that, we still in the game, and let's finish this out.
Mangum doubled Haynesville's stats offensively. The Dragons finished with 567 total yards of offense, while Haynesville finished with 282 total yards of offense. But a big key for the Golden Tornadoes' victory was their ability to create 3 turnovers, while only allowing 1 themselves.
I think we had 1 turnover in a really, really bad time, and I questioned whether that was a turnover or not. But the turnovers that we got, they were all very timely. Anytime you can get something like that, that's really the only time that we stopped them. So they're really, really good on offense.
This year, Haynesville had a lot of guys playing both sides of the ball who did not have to do that before. And seeing how those players bought into each other and what the Golden Tornado wanted to do this season is another key role in their win.
I think the most important thing here is our kids, every one of these kids played both ways. These 3, other than Eli, they didn't come off the field at all. For a couple of special teams, they get some rest. And, I wish we had more kids, but we don't. But I think that they play so hard and they play so much of the ball game, too. I think that's a really big deal.
Doing everything together, practicing, ice baths to, sometimes staying the night before a game, it's a blessing, to have this chemistry and being with each other just for a long time, ever since, elementary. It's just all glory to God to have this opportunity with these guys.
This state championship is extra special for this Haynesville team. After falling short in the Dome the past 2 years, it means a lot that they finally got the job done.
The losses really made us come down here a lot of times, and we really know how much this means for the community.
We come from a football community. Football is really important, and that's a good thing because football is highly encouraged. But at the same time, these guys get a lot of pressure. There is a lot of pressure from the community. There's a lot of pressure from their brothers, their uncles that won those championships. So, where it's a good thing, it's sometimes tough. There is so much pressure on them to go win because that is expected. That's a good thing for us, but it's also really hard for them. It's a lot of pressure.
One of the diamonds created underneath that Haynesville football legacy pressure is future LSU Tiger Isaiah Washington. The quarterback and safety finished the day with 87 rushing yards and 2 rushing touchdowns. He also had a 77-yard pick 6. He was named the most outstanding player of the game.
When it all started, I got thrown in. Since my freshman year, I got thrown in the water very early. There's a lot of pressure. I just had to. I had great, senior classes, that always kept my head up, just always being in my ear, Haynesville, the people, always in your ear. It's been a long, tough ride, but just being the leader just really stands out for me because I know, how the other senior classes, leading me to success. So I take that very heavy on leading, the younger guys in success, actually doing what we did today, showing guys like, Ethan Class that it is possible.
This state title is special for an even bigger reason. It's been a year of loss for head coach David Franklin, who lost both of his parents, including his dad, who was a legendary head coach at Haynesville.
It's been a tough year, but I know that I've had two parents that have passed this year, and they guided me in the right direction, and I feel like that we're guiding these guys in the right direction and putting God first in everything that we do, and that's important to us, and equally as important to is teaching them right. And you know, I told the kids yesterday, no matter where we go, somebody always pulls me over and compliments these kids somewhere. That's more important than a victory. So I am so proud of them and the trip that we've had, and this is just icing on the cake. Sure is.
Next on the high school spotlight, Riverside Academy and Ascension Catholic went head-to-head for the Division IV Select State title. We've got the inside scoop. Don't go anywhere.
For over 100 years, our families have gathered together to share with each other our challenges and hopes, to take this light we've been gifted and paint a brighter future for the next generation. The seeds we plant today are the bounty we harvest tomorrow. As farmers, we know that together we're stronger than we could ever be apart. We're the Louisiana Farm Bureau, and we're the voice of Louisiana agriculture.
So it's going to come down to this. Can they do it?
Oh no, they missed it! Wait a minute! There's a flag on the play!
Protect what matters most to you and find out the many ways you can benefit. 100% free tuition and fees to all state colleges. Job training in over 150 different career fields, healthcare, pay, and much more. The Louisiana Army National Guard, part-time service with lifelong benefits. Find out more by visiting www.lang-recruiting.com.
The LHSAA Network TV app features a 24/7 live channel as well as on-demand content with all the high school sports you want, and it's totally free. The app is available for download on TV-connected devices, including Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire TV. It's the only place where every day is game day. Download the LHSAA Network TV app today.
Checking back in on the high school spotlight, Ascension Catholic upset the top-seeded Westminster Christian in the semifinals to punch their ticket to the Dome. And while number 2-seeded Riverside showed off how explosive their offense has been all throughout the postseason, beating opponents by 24 points or greater, Riverside kept that momentum going into the Division IV Select State title game against Ascension Catholic. Spencer Verrett has the story.
It was just 2 years ago here in the Superdome, Lee Russell and the Riverside Academy Rebels trotted out a bunch of underclassmen taking on Southern Lab in a state championship. They fell then, but return now 2 years later and bring home the school's second state championship after taking down Ascension Catholic in the Division IV Select State Championship.
And what a great group of kids that I got in that locker room all year, and a special group of seniors. It's only 7 of them, but a quality bunch, and says a lot about our young kids and what they've done as a senior group to lead this football team when we're playing with some 8th, 9th, and 10th graders out there. But a special group of kids all the way through. A team that's faced some injuries early in the year where we had some guys go down. We played without Jaden early in the year. And that's when I knew early, week 2 or 3, where we're still able to win games without some key players, that we might be wired right, we might be built to make this run. But I'll tell you that this group really deserves it. I'm super excited for them to go out on top. We were here in 2023, and a lot of these guys up here were on that team. He was a freshman. He was playing in that game as an 8th grader, and Brock was a sophomore. And to leave now as a senior, leaving with that gold trophy, man, it feels special.
For all the talk about the rushing attack that Riverside presented,
senior quarterback Brock Bourgeois delivered in the passing game, finishing with 142 yards and 2 passing touchdowns. Bourgeois knew this team could bring home that gold trophy.
Man, it feels great, walking off that field in 2023, it was really sad. I was really sad, but, we were hungry and we wanted to get back. I'm just really proud of the guys. We knew this was our year, and from spring football, we've been talking about getting back here, and we worked so hard for this moment, man. I'm just super proud. I'm super proud of the team and the way we work every day.
The Rebels faced with a daunting task on defense of slowing down Trevin Simon. The front four that included Ahmad Cage held the star running back to just 150 rushing yards and 1 touchdown.
So yeah, he's unbelievable what he was able to do this year. Him and the offensive line to get that many yards and that many touchdowns. You're doing something right. He's a special player, special kid, and I was able to meet him this week at Media Day with his coach. And you can't do what he did this year without being special. But we got some good ones too, and I think that was what it came down to. And it starts with him right here. He's a tough block. He's not 6'3", but man, he plays like however big you need him to be every week. So good players.
Most outstanding player for the Rebels, though, Christopher Becknell. With a passing touchdown and receiving touchdown, he did it all for Riverside. Just a sophomore, the future is bright in reserve.
We went in the locker room, we just talked about playing our brand of football. Like, we went, we got coached, because we didn't play a good game. We didn't play our best football. We just went in the locker room, we was able to get coached, and we went out, and we just executed. That was the message, just execute.
The key moment late in the game with the Rebels up just 7 and Ascension Catholic having all the momentum for a comeback. Staring down a 4th down and a 40-yard field goal, William Rock, the tight end, nails it to seal the game for Riverside.
We were right on the fringe of what we feel comfortable kicking, and I want to say that's the furthest one he's made all year because we really don't push it back into past the 20-yard line. He was fired up. Man, I can't say enough about the importance we put on special teams, and for it to show up in the last game and win us a game is it's a big time kick.
Another senior who transferred in, Jaden Obikwe, was huge for the Rebels all season, but faced a sprained ankle early in the game. Obikwe still finished with 2 touchdowns and 117 total yards.
Yes, sir. My coaches pushed me through it. They said, I have to keep playing. This is my last game. I have to keep striving through. And when I went down, I'm just thankful for my teammates for finishing the job. This is my senior year, and I'm just very thankful to get a ring. And when I'm my O-line, defense making stops, my head coach coaching, pushing us through everything, I'm just very thankful for that.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what this team is. With that situation right there, he goes down. He's definitely got the sprained ankle. He pushes through and competes and does what he can. But then other guys step up, and that's kind of been the story of our season.
Reporting from the Superdome for the LHSA Network, I'm Spencer Verrett.
Thanks, Spencer. Coming up, we take one last moment to relive some of the best performances at the LHSAA Football Prep Classic. Stay with us on the High School Spotlight.
Protect what matters most to you and find out the many ways you can benefit. 100% free tuition and fees to all state colleges. Job training in over 150 different career fields, healthcare, pay, and much more. The Louisiana Army National Guard. Part-time service with lifelong benefits. Find out more by visiting www.lang-recruiting.com.
At Breck Golf Courses, we focus on the highest level of play. That means award-winning courses, state-of-the-art practice facilities, unique shot-making opportunities, and tournament-level playing experiences. With 2 championship courses located in the parish, Beaver Creek and Santa Maria courses make the perfect setting to test your golf skills. Find your next hole-in-one with Breck Golf.
So it's going to come down to this. Can they do it?
Oh no, they missed it! Wait a minute! There's a flag on the play!
when looking for college, I wanted somewhere that would push me and allow me to kind of be the person I'd always wanted to be.
Everyone here kind of has this mindset of seeing the next person succeed, and I think that just creates a Southern Miss spirit.
You find what you need out of Southern Miss. What I need isn't what another student needs, but we all find something here.
You don't have to be what people have said you've been. You don't have to be what people think you are. Like, coming to Southern Miss, you can totally reinvent yourself and be who you truly feel like you are meant to be.
Welcome back. There aren't really enough words to encompass just how much talent we saw at the Prep Classic. Every team displayed impressive performances, and Steve Schneider shows you some of the most exhilarating moments from the state championships in this season's final Pick 6 segment.
The Prep Classic Pick 6 probably needs to be expanded to 8, but we start with the Yellow Jackets of Iowa. First ever road to the Dome, knocking off #1 seed North DeSoto. The 1-2 punch, heck, 3 and others for Tommy Johns, from MVP wideout Jeremiah Bushnell to running back Caston Lewis, and athlete Javian Adams. These guys won a shootout with the Griffins' senior quarterback Luke Delafield. And Jackets junior quarterback Lawston Broussard and the O-line also played major roles in the one-score victory. Another 2-versus-1 matchup saw Sterlington make it back-to-back titles, denying Gina a title in the Giants' first ever trip to Foyden. So many stars for Sterlington, it's hard to name Lee Doty's whole crew, but TJ Birch on offense and Trey Birch on defense might be a way to sandwich all these big plays. But the biggest stunner for a #1 seed had to be Ouachita's comeback against the Ruston Bearcats, who seemed destined for a second title in 4 years, with a double-digit lead thanks to the 6-7 combo of Sam Hartwell and Ahmad Hudson. But seniors MJ Day, Wydell Clark ran wild at crunch time, delivering a 21-20 upset for Benji Lewis and his 14-seed Lions. Seed Haynesville got some redemption for so many trips and years without a title. This trip to the end zone by MVP Isaiah Washington, summing it up for David Franklin's Golden Tornado. Pick 5 was the other 1 seed that won: Bryce Brown, John Johnson, Richard Anderson. And Carr goes back-to-back. And pick 6, a salute to the other select schools: Riverside, Dunham, Elijah Haven, Tyler Miliotto, and St. Charles Catholic.
Thanks so much, Steve. And thank you all for tuning into the High School Spotlight here on the LHSAA Network. While this is our last episode of 2025, we'll be back before you know it. Starting in January, the High School Spotlight will return every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. From the Beyond the Game studio and all of us here at the LHSAA Network, we wish you a happy holidays. Thanks for watching.